This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, sorry, team. Sorry, I'm on mute. I have been talking. So, anyone
Oh,
has any questions, team, so far before we are going to start? Anyone? All we are clear, or okay? So, can we do a small recap?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So, anyone can tell me if you got a requirement, what is your first step? Will you do? What will be the first step you will do once you got a requirement?
Check the credentials.
Okay. Then,
Check the connectivity tests with the source and target systems with
that
that
is good.
credentials,
Yeah, really good.
and then
Then,
and then
Then the test cases also. Basically, we need to verify the FDDs and see what are the requirements and if that all the security details and all the requirements that is properly working. So
okay. Okay. Very good. And where will you get the requirement basically? Who will give you the requirements?
functional analysts or business analysts.
Okay, okay. Where they will mention the change cases.
They should give us a spec document, functional spec document with the requirements.
Okay, okay. And Jira also, okay?
Yeah, any workfront ticket or Jira ticket.
Yes, okay. So now you got the requirement, now you understand the source and target systems, and you analyze if the credentials are working or not, and you are going through the documentation, whatever it is they are going to share. Okay. So after that, how will you assume that is the enhancement or that is a requirement, that is a new requirement? How will you come to know that is that the new requirement or an enhancement?
Based on the systems, whether we have already
Hmm.
connectivity established in our studio or not, we can identify. And if they are already available, if they are not in new systems for us, then it is an enhancement.
Okay, first, yes, you are right, you need to check with the mostly BAs, business analyst or functional analyst. They will tell you this is the enhancement which it has a previous Jira ticket or whatever it is. Okay, based on that you will come to know that. Okay, so what is the best practices to develop the flows? I mean to say, which one will you use, running mode or debugging mode?
Debugging mode.
Okay,
yes,
very good.
when we are developing and we before installing it to the main server, we can go for
Okay, okay, pretty good.
things
So
and
now let me give you the problem. Okay, now you need to work with SAP system. So not SAP, what it is, um, uh, All Frasco or some document, Salesforce Cloud Hub, okay, whatever it is. So the where will you see the modules normally if it is not available?
We can import from the design studio of the MuleSoft.
You will search in the Exchange, right?
Yeah, Exchange if it is already shared by in the marketplace, or you can search in the core if it is already available or not.
Okay, pretty good. Now the version is mismatching with your existing project. What will you do now? The version of the particular library is mismatching. Where will you go and change it?
We will go to that M2 repository in the
Okay, then
Pom.xml.
based on the XML file, we will.
that's the first point you need to tell. First point you need to check. So POM version, POM file, you will check with your colleague. Okay, this is the version I'm using. Are you using the same version or not? Okay, if you are not using the same version, you will change and you will build the project again. How will you build the project?
We need to change it in the pom.xml and then deploy it, build and deploy.
Right. How will you use? Right click and choose run as debug or run as MuleSoft application. Okay, automatically it will deploy and it will build and it will deploy. Okay, if it is not this case, if you do not want to use on this phase, then what is the command prompt based command? Is there a way to build the application another way? Is there any other way to build?
Yeah, we can go to the command prompt and / deploy commands we should do.
You need to use the mvn clean deploy and hyphen deploy, clean install and hyphen deploy. You can use that command. Initial day, I think very first day or second, I shared you the Maven tutorial documents, right? Please go through, spend your time. Okay, you will come to know that. Okay, so tell me, if you want to create a new file, for example, in the real time, how it is going to look like is each and every configuration file MuleSoft _ new, it will be a more than one files, right? Agree? Right. So how will you how will you use the best practices? So normally what I will do is, if it is a Salesforce connectivity, I will mention all the Salesforce flows on that particular configuration file mostly. Okay, so that it can easily recognizable. Okay, that is the one thing. Now let me ask you one more question. So already you need to work on a Salesforce. Okay, the Salesforce connection details somewhere is there in your project. How will you do that? How will you pick up those details?
You need to go to the repository and open that flow to get the connectivity details of that particular Salesforce site flow.
Okay, in the real time, it won't be straightforward. You are going to have multiple projects and multiple configuration files. So now you can tell me, it is a long-term process, right? I'm saying it will take a lot of time if you go through with your approach.
Okay, yeah.
Right? How will you do that?
You can check in the connectors.
No, the best practice is you can use the search option. Okay, you can use the search to search for the Salesforce or SAP. For example, I have a requirement to work on the Salesforce. Okay, you can just search like this. So it will tell you wherever it is used. It is showing that each and every pinpointed level. Here it is used. I will open this one and I will check in this place how to use it. Now, for example, now you are working on the upset bulk and someone has already worked on the insert command, Salesforce insert. So how will you do that again? You don't know. Real time, I'm telling you, team, everything will be there. Everything will be there. Mostly will be there. 80% cases. The thing which you need to do, you need to identify. Okay. You need to understand the code. You need to identify and copy the code and paste it in your project. Okay. So the Salesforce configuration file is there. I'm just double clicking on this. So it is taking time. Let me use any other project.
Shriram, I have a question. This when you search, so this key would be searched for that directory where the files are created. Like for us, the C drive, the main C folder drive.
It's for the project level. It's for the project level. Okay, you can see, right? So workspace, you can see. You need to do all your experiment on this. Okay, just I'm giving you the solution. So in the real time, you may use the API search, you may use the GitHub search, Java search, like the plenty of. Okay.
In real time, do we have to always create in C, or is there any other way, like we can create in our own customized folder and then we go and define it in the environment variables, like this is our home or this is what the dir has to be referring to?
Yeah, obviously you can create your own defined directory. It doesn't matter. Okay. And even the properties, these values will come from the property file. Okay. We are not using the space. I will tell you. Okay. But what I'm telling is, oh, the HTTP requester, you don't know how to use it. Okay. Someone has already used it, created. They spend the time. Just you can copy paste it. So for example, HTTP configuration is somebody is created. Just what I will do, I will copy it to my project. Okay. In the real time, mostly more than one project will be there. You will import all the projects and search particular configuration and copy it and paste it into your project. Okay. Learning, anyone can do that thing. Anyone can do it. Smart things will make you change your life. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And tell me, what is the in your case, what is the best practices which you need to apply? I would say, which one will you use, flow or subflow or private flow? What is the differences? So okay, team, normally in the Monday I will take the recap sessions. Just I will discuss what it has happened in the previous sessions. Okay. So
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Which one will you use, flow or subflow or private flow?
First flow, and then private flow is nothing but a same flow but without the source. So that we can call a private flow. For that reusability, like we can create for smaller components, we can divide it to number of private flows, and then we can call that the main flow. And yeah, for error handling, if you don't, a kind of a smaller component is more like image or something that we're getting from the database or so, we can define it in a what is that, subflow, which will not have error handling, because that might not involve much error, over the period of time. So
good, very good, very good. So in which case you will use the variable? We had discussed about the variables, right, team?
Yeah, set variable.
Suppose, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Madhuri.
if we want to store any result of this, and if we want to use it in in the flow, in anywhere we have to use, then we can use that set variable. It's like a temporary location to store that.
Absolutely, you're right. And if it is in an interview, normally you need to give all the prospectives of that particular question. Okay. If it is a set payload or set variable, you need to explain the problem statement. Okay. And advantages, disadvantages. Okay. And performance wise. Okay. And is there any bugs related to that? Okay. These things you need to answer for any question. Okay. In interviews. Okay. So now, do we need to use the variables in our application? Do we have any alternatives?
set payload or set variable is to.
Instead of set variable, is there any other way to use to fulfill the requirement.
Private flow,
Come again, bro.
so we can use, right?
Which one?
Private flow.
No.
In the requester level itself, we can give the variable and we can.
Absolutely right. Is there any other way? One more way? Is there one more way? Can we do on the transform message?
Yeah, transform message.
Right. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
No, you are saying that in this place, right? Where is the response? This place, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What else? I think we are pretty much good. Okay, so what it will contain in the global elements?
All the configurations what we have used, those
Right. It's a global level. It's all the project level configurations will be created over here. Okay. And what is the purpose of the configuration XML? Anyone?
Authentication information.
No, bro. Actually,
Contains all the
yes,
whatever we have used in the flow.
yeah.
That
All details will be there in there.
Yeah. So you can copy paste from other project to this project easily. Okay. So you need to be familiarize this one as well. Okay. If you are putting more than 3 years or 4 years of experience, obviously you need to familiarize this XML part as well. Nothing else, just where to copy, how to copy, and which one to modify, like that. Okay.
Srikanth,
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
the doc ID, when you copy these values, right, the doc ID will be different for the different projects. So if I copy
Yeah,
from
so
some other project, is it going to impact or?
no, it won't impact anything. Mostly it will be unique. Even though you can change it, doesn't matter. Or maybe just delete that part. Just only copy this specific. Or do one thing. If you are not confident, okay, just do one thing. Copy this part, okay, and create this kind of thing and replace only this part, okay, or only replace its ID and create one more HTTP request configuration in your flow and replace only remaining part with this one. Okay, so just only replace this ID. Mostly it will be unique and project to project will be differs. Okay, and we don't need to be worried about it mostly. Okay, this ID is only for the global configuration purposes. Okay, and we don't need to be much dependent on that. Mostly it won't be any problem. As I know, I had been copying, I didn't see any problem. So if you are facing any problem, just copy only that content. Okay.
Yeah, the reason I asked is it looks like it's a unique system generated value, right? Yeah, that's the reason I asked.
Right. Mostly it is used to tracking the requests, I'm saying the events within the flow.
Okay.
Srikanth, what is the significance of that artifact JSON? Is it something for the deployment?
Where?
And the target system mule artifact JSON, yeah.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly that is for the work. So you don't need to, you don't need to learn about this. This is recently added for the 4.2 onwards, I think so. 4.1.2 or 4.
Because in DevOps they used to call a single artifact version or something.
Right. Mostly it won't be any helpful. Yes, I know. I never used this one so far.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are almost all good for each and every concept which we have discussed. Okay, and in the transform message, why we need to use the transform message?
To translate the desired format to the target system.
Okay,
and
good.
to do the mapping.
Okay, do we need the input section and output section before we are to run the application? What is the purpose of the input metadata and output metadata?
Just to map the source and target fields.
So can I delete those things? I don't. If once I create the code, can I delete that code? Delete that part metadata?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, you're right. We don't need, only we need input output section to generate the code. Once we generate the code, we don't need. You can delete it. Okay. We are not using these things. Only the code will be used. Just we are informing in the real time, you may get this set of data. Okay. Okay, cool. I think we are almost all good. Okay. Okay. Any doubts, anytime team, you can just ask me. Okay. Don't sit idle. Okay. You won't learn anything. Okay. So now we achieve, what is this side of execution? Now what we called as sequential or parallel execution.
It's a sequence.
Right. The sequence execution. If we want to achieve parallel execution, what will you do? So in which case you will use the parallel execution?
If we want to pass the data to multiple recipient systems,
Okay.
you need to use some kind of fork steps or something.
Okay. So async to scope will do the same, will fulfill the requirement, fulfill that the same thing for us. So what will happen is, so when you need to use is, whenever you don't need any response from that particular message processor or particular flow, whatever it is, whatever you're going to put it over here, doesn't matter. Okay. If you do not need any response back, okay, that time you will use the asynchronous scope. So what will happen is, in the real-time cases, you need to, for example, a user is requested for the report from the last 6 months or past last 6 years. So obviously you are not going to send as a response the statement to the user, because sometimes the file will be huge, right? So what will you do now? You need to send an email notification, right? That case, you don't need to send a response back to the user. So you are going to perform the other activities behind the scene. Okay. And you will send an email once this job, this particular flow is completed, then it automatically will send a notification to the user. Okay. Are we good now? Immediately, if you do not any response, then you will use the asynchronous scope. Okay. For example, this is a performance thing also. So what will you do now? For example, you need to improve the performance, and you had been discussing with your BA. You are identifying, okay, this need to be done at the type of at the time of request, and this is also done. Okay, this one we don't need to bother about at this moment, but it has to be completed. But we don't need to be given a confirmation to anybody else. Whenever we be free, application is free, that time we can complete the requirement. And for example, this one is taking 10 minutes, this one is taking 10 minutes, this one is taking 10 minutes without asynchronous scope. Okay, without asynchronous scope. So now if you use the asynchronous scope, 10 minutes you are going to save it. Okay, so what will happen, it will, before it is reaching to the asynchronous scope, it will create a two copies, two payloads, payload 1, payload 2. Okay, first payload, it will go to the asynchronous scope. The second payload directly it will go to the logger, and it will go back to the response as a customer. Okay, now did you understand what is the purpose of asynchronous scope?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where
Okay.
we will use this asynchronous in real time?
So for example, you need to into FTP or some other directory, and it is going to take 2 to 3 minutes or more than 5 minutes time. Okay, or even, and for example, entire process is going to take more than 1 minute. Just assume that, but the response has to go within 3 seconds. Okay, response has to go within the 3 seconds. What will you do now? You will put that one in asynchronous scope. You will write the file over there.
Okay.
So whenever you don't need a response back immediately. So writing the file, you don't need, what kind of response will you get? Are you going to say to the user, okay, I've written whatever you upload the file, I've written in our system. Is that right? No, right? We don't need to inform to the user.
You mean to say like when we subscribe or do an order for some item, the
Yes.
mail to the user will come a bit late.
Yes,
Even
obviously, absolutely you're right. Yes, yes. Invoice, email, invoice statement will come later. Or some bill payments, it will come later, right?
okay, got it.
Right. Yeah. So now that is part of the asynchronous scope. Okay. Now let's discuss about the caching as well, and we'll execute both at a time. Okay. So the caching. So let me use the caching. So what is the purpose of the caching? So in Amazon or eBay or in some kind of websites, you will see the static data which is not going to change frequently, right? Mostly images, it won't change. The product images won't change. Description also won't change mostly. The price only will change, right? The price value only change. So if you do not use the caching mechanism, what will happen? It will go to the database and it will hit the multiple tables. One table for the description, one table for the price, one table for some different details for the images, like that, right? And it will fetch all the details and it will show to the user. If it is only one user, that's okay. It's not so burden to the system. If the multiple users, millions of users are visiting for the same product, so what will you do now? Are you going to hit the database again and again? Huh? It's totally it's not a good, right? So to avoid that, people had been using different set of caching mechanism for the different layers. Okay, so for example, okay, this is a customer, okay, and he has a browser he opened, and this is for the Amazon website. Okay, in the real time, the Amazon project, this is assume for the project. Each and every project has the 3 layers. Okay, one is UI layer, middle layer, one is the data DB layer, right? Middle layer, okay, and UI layer. So each and every layer level, it has own caching mechanism. Database level, what is it? OS cache, or there is a caching mechanism is called I'm forgetting. That is the name of called OS cache, or something like that. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me Google it. Okay, database cache, DB cache.
So recycle cache.
Which one, bro?
Recycle cache.
I don't know. Redis is some kind of one which is people have been using, and there are some default caching mechanisms also there. OS cache, no, CSQL cache, and no, N cache, no cache, yeah, no cache, no. Not this cache aside. You can just Google it, team. Okay, some people are saying that Redis cache and all. Okay, but people will use the different things. Default one I forgot it. Some default caching mechanisms are there. Okay, that one will be used. Okay, and the other one in the middle level, people had been using either Infinispan or JBoss cache, or like that. In the MuleSoft side, we are going to use the caching mechanism. Okay, and UI side also, the people will use the UI's cache. Okay, so the difference between the UI and this one, then this one, okay, is UI level the images, okay, countries information, okay, and some kind of data which is not changing at all. Very occasionally which is going to change. That time people will use the UI cache. Okay, in the middle level cache, the URLs, the service URLs, you will get service request. For example, if you're in the stock market, the analyst require the real-time data and historical data as well. Okay, they will use the APIs to get the data, okay, behind the scene. Okay, so if the multiple people are hitting the for the same stock multiple times, so unnecessarily it will go and hit the database, right? It will go and hit the database. So to avoid that, they will use a caching mechanism. They will identify based on the URL, it's a duplicate request or a unique request. If it is a unique request, they will give it to the database. Okay, and if it is a duplicate request, the response will be served from the cache and it will go back to the user. Okay, and OS level cache also, sometimes the service level cache may be missed out. Maybe if the people had given different URL parameters, then it won't treat as a unique. Then it will pass to the database. Database can understand. At the end, this is the one it is going to give the data, right? So it will identify and it will give back to the cache data. It will give back to the user. Okay. So the cache, how will you update? In the MuleSoft, you're going to use the object store. Okay, object store to store the data and to retrieve the data. For example, you are going to have some price information over here. Okay, the price either you can update behind the scene, or whenever you got the new request, it will go and update it automatically, or based on time interval also you can do that. For example, the object store, you can put it as 1 day as the lifetime. Okay, after the 1 day it will be terminated and it will freshly updated from the database. Okay, that is the one thing. Okay, or for example, in the Amazon kind of websites, you need to update the whenever the customer had changed, not customer, you I would say, yeah, user or whatever it is. Okay, the seller, if he uploaded new images, then you can behind the scene go to the object store and update the values, then automatically it will be served as a new data to the user. Okay, did you understand me? What is the caching mechanism? Huh? Any questions? If you are silent, then I can assume that you understand. Is that okay? You want me to explain again? No, it's not audible. Okay. So what I'm going to do is now, okay, so I'm going to use the caching mechanism for this. Okay, let's see for the flow reference, just I'm pulling out, or you can use the cache for the particular this one. Okay, especially specific connector as well. Okay, so now let's run this project. Srikant, are you able to understand? Are you facing any challenges? So let me put some logger over here before that, so that we can understand which one is executing exactly, and put the debugging point over here. I think my database is not running. Let me start my database. One minute. Sorry, it seems to my system is deadliest slow. I don't know why. Okay, what is our address? I think just I need to start my postman.
Sriram, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Suppose we put the cache before the start of the flow wherein we have database interactions. So this cache
Yeah.
will be instance of database at that particular time. But suppose we in the flow we have updated the ID or something, or we created a record and we have an ID for in the database in a table. So will that data come back from the database to the cache, or the cache will have the previous one that we already have in the system before executing the flow?
Now, for first time, very first we go to database and it will fetch data and it will store into the cache. Whenever it is identified, request, then it will serve the duplicate request with the same
Shrikant, your voice is not audible.
experience of network connection.
Okay.
Very slow, and my system also, I don't know what of Sharon.
There is a lag in your voice.
Even yours also, yeah. I will answer once work is good. Is that fine?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You my I think
And
I
your
need
voice
to
is,
shut down my system.
yeah, your voice
Come again,
is,
bro.
your voice is breaking and so lag.
Agree. What do now? I system issue is not utilizing properly. Let me
Srikanth, we can't hear you. Kind of a breaking up.
okay, that's okay. Message. So I sent a message to everyone. I think I need to restart the system, which is not responding properly.
Okay, no issues.
Okay, Madhuri, yes, so we can do. We can't do debug single flow until unless doesn't have any specific connection to the other flows. Okay. Even if you debug simple flow, you need to run the process mode only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, team, my system is deadliest slow. It is not even responding. Point studio also. I don't know. I'm not used the 32 GB RAM. Oh. Okay, team. I'm winding up the session for today. It's very difficult to work on at this with this process with this speed. Yeah, I'm using only 13 GB only used out of 32 GB. 18 GB still available. I don't know why.
Now it is clear. We can hear you clearly.
Now you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, then good. Yeah, now it seems to be good. Okay. Let me send the request. Okay, let me open the Postman. Oh, okay, Postman. Let me take the address. Address is
Localhost.
yeah, test and test, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent a request now. Okay, now I received a request. Now basically what will happen is very first time it will go to the cache and it will execute all the steps over here, whatever it was mentioned within the cache. And next time if you found the duplicate request again, then it won't perform. Let's see now. Now it is going inside to the each and every step you can observe over here. Okay, it is executing each and every step. It is taking time to connect to the eBay. Okay, it is done. and now cache is executed fully. Okay, now it has the data. Okay, let's see now. Now it is going to the flow reference and the database. Now the next section is the Salesforce. Now if you observe, while it is going to the Salesforce, immediately one copy will be handed over to the logger and one copy will be handed over to the this flow reference. Okay, with flow, and whatever it has reaches to the logger, the response will be sent back. Okay, if you observe over here, still it is loading, right? Still it is loading. Okay, still it is loading. Okay, just observe now. Now it is going over here, but one copy will go to the flow reference. Okay, now one copy went to the flow reference. Okay, now just observe over here. Do we see the result over here? It is completed, right? The response is sent, but behind the scene already the flow is executed. Still it is executing team. It is not terminated. Still it is executing, but the response won't send back to the user again. Okay, that is the advantage with that asynchronous scope. Okay, you can see we don't have any response. Okay, it won't update anything back which you put. Same. Okay, now let me send the request again. Now I send a request again. Let's do that. Did you observe now? Is it went to the flow reference? Huh? Is this executed to the same thing? This one?
No.
No, right? Immediately it was jumped to the logger, right? But what it has the data? Okay, just a minute. Oh, sorry. I think the response I am putting over here on the variable. Okay, sorry. I think variables are not stored. Sorry. Okay, it was stored on the variables. That's the reason. Okay, we don't have the original data. Okay, but I will show you out. I will change and I will show you out. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, and instead of saving over here, what I will do is I will remove this part just for I will update this part later. Okay, just cutting it. Okay, and what I will do, I will complete this request. Okay, if you are completed, this is the default caching time. In the default caching level, once you restart, the cache will be terminated. Okay, the cache will be cleaned up. Okay, let me send the request now. Okay, done. It is executing again. Now payload contains the data. Now that's fine, and we'll complete this part, entire process. Okay, now let me send the request again. Now we got the request. Now you can see, observe, do we have the payload, right? The JSON data from the eBay, right? We have the eBay data, right? Which it mean whatever the payload which is giving as the result will be cached if it is a duplicate request. Okay, but this is the default caching strategy. We are not changed any configuration over here. Okay, we are not changed any configuration over here, but we will change the configuration tomorrow, and we will discuss about the cache in the object store level. Okay, and we'll move on to the choice router and first successful and scatter gather. These three things we will discuss. Okay, tomorrow along with the cache we will discuss about the how to send a request based on the condition, how to send the request to multiple target systems at a single time. Okay, and how to send a message without fail. Okay, we will do that. Without fail scenario, how to do that, we will achieve these three. Okay, so for clear team, make sure that you should execute this program team. In the going forward also, we are going to use the same program again and again. Okay, even the flow references we are going to change. We are going to add a best practices for the same program. Okay, we are going to use the VM and JMSs. After we have done these things, we will connect to the City Shop Bazaar website and we will publish the data. Okay, are you able to remember the concepts what we have discussed so far? Are you by hearting or are you going through the videos? What is your situation now? I will try my level best not to go through the videos again and again. Basically, I don't like to go through the videos. I need to hear once and remember. That's it. If you're facing any challenges to remember, let me know. I will do the recaps as many times as possible. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, don't by heart the concepts team. In interview, nobody don't like the by heart answers. Okay. You need to Google it. The 5 elements, best practices, problem statement, advantages, disadvantages, alternatives. Is there any bugs? Okay. Threading profile level, performance level. How will you do that? These things you need to answer. Okay. Anyone?
On the waiting videos from you. I haven't received it.
I already okay, just give me a minute, bro. 1 minute, huh? Sorry.
Okay.
I think Srikanth resume shared with you.
I didn't receive any videos.
Okay, 1 minute, bro. Sorry, bro. Actually, my mistake.
Hold on.
1 minute. I think other people are shared. I'm not pretty much confident. Shared with me. Can you send your email to me, bro? Chat into my WhatsApp.
Okay, sure.
I will share right away. Just ping me. Vinod and Vinod. Okay.
Srikanth.
Okay, got it, bro. You will get this thing within the next 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, that's all for today, team, and we'll meet you on tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bro. Bye. Did you receive, bro? Videos?
Yes, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah. Did you send it? Yeah.
Yeah, just now. Just now.
No,
Check
yeah.
it. Okay. Okay, team. We'll meet you on tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Srikanth.
Yeah.
Srikanth,
Yeah, bro.
ఐ థింక్ 19 క్లాస్ నేను మిస్ అయినట్టు సెండ్ చేస్తారు, అవి అప్లోడ్ చేస్తారు వీడియో.
అప్పుడే ఉన్నాయి బాసు. 19
ఓకే సాటర్డే
సాటర్డే లేదు, సాటర్డే జరగలేదు బాసు, సాటర్డే జరగలేదు.
ఓకే అండి, ఓకే.